Hey everyone, we are back for another episode of NPC Next Portable Console. I'm John Voorhees. I've got Brendon Bigley over there giving everybody kisses.
Hey everyone, so glad to be here without an Ayn Thor in hand.
Oh yeah, soon, very soon.
I don't know, John. Anyway,
we'll talk about it. All right, we'll talk about it in a minute. And we have Federico Vitici, who has some vague notion that a Thor might be on its way to him.
Well, I have an Odin 2 Mini, which I've been using to play GameHub that we're gonna talk about in NPC XL. Shout out to Brendon as well. So I have that, but I'm also waiting. Let me pull up my parcel tracking app. Let's see.
It's my favorite app. You know how much I was refreshing that while I was waiting for my Thor?
My Thor has been processed in Hong Kong, and it's coming on Monday.
Oh my god!
And I got an email from DHL last night saying, your taxes for your incoming package. I was like, oh god, how much is it going to be this time? It's like, open this PDF document to see your incoming charges. I was like, okay, all right, I'm ready. €0.
Really?
Yeah. Nice.
That's nice.
So
nice.
Good job.
I need to speak for a large contingent of people, which I'm realizing is a much larger contingent of people than I thought, who have had their Thors stuck in Nanchang with shipment arrived at facility and measured for over a week at this point.
Oh my
with,
gosh!
No indication of what's going on with that. Really, I've been in the Ayn Discord because they have a shipping channel where there's a lot of people asking a lot of questions about it. They say that they're looking into it, but it's a huge number of people who just have their Thors stuck. Also, didn't realize this, but they sold out of a lot of them as well. So a lot of the ones that weren't showing up on the shipping tracker aren't showing up because they're actually out of the parts and they need to manufacture more.
Oh wow!
So
wow.
I think if I were to guess, I think that this device is a much bigger deal than they bargained for. They didn't have enough inventory at all to handle it. But mine technically shipped out over a week ago and hasn't moved.
Yeah, mine didn't. Mine was in China for 2 days. It was in China for a day, Hong Kong, then then it dropped into the United States. So
two wonderful bits just to go along with that. Number one is that I have 2 styluses to test out with it.
I have one coming today.
This one I ordered that was on back order, this Mixu one. That I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a YouTube short or something about it when it finally shows up.
That's what I ordered that one too. I think that's the one that Russ kind of liked on Retro Game Core.
No.
Yeah, I saw Joey from Joey's Retro Handhelds mention it. The other thing that I think is very funny is that in between the last episode and this one, the Miyoo Mini Flip has gone up for sale, which I ordered, and I think will actually be here maybe this weekend.
Before the Thor.
Way before the Thor.
Which, I mean, the time between ordering that and it actually showing up at your door is kind of remarkable, really.
Yeah. Apparently it's in New York already, so I might even get it today.
Wow, amazing.
What's the other style that you had there, Brendon? The one with the Nintendo?
It's the official Nintendo Switch
from
stylus.
Japan.
Yeah, it's a Japanese import.
How did you get it? In Japan?
You can get them on Amazon.
Yeah, they had them on Amazon, which I was really surprised by. This has been out for a while. I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to about this. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. These have been around for a long time, apparently. These official Nintendo stylus.
They're Japan only, though, I think.
I can get it Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I will say the Mixu one, I have opened this. It has the same kind of top nub as the Switch one. So if you're getting one of them, they'll both probably be fine.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. That's why I went with the Mixu one. I just figured.
But yeah, the Mixu has this thing, this little kind of tiny nub that's more stylus adjacent that I think is why people like this one more.
Yeah, it works a little closer to the original 3DS stylus.
Exactly.
Can you use an original Nintendo 3DS?
No, it has to be capacitive. Those were
resistive.
Pressure. Yeah.
Those were resistive. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we're burying the lead.
Yeah, I know, right? So we're gonna talk about the Thor in a few minutes.
We are.
Before we do that, we have some quick follow-up to get to. The first one is, what is Retroid up to?
I can't figure out this image.
Okay, so they posted a teaser.
Yeah.
And this poster says, why wait for time travel to be invented? The future is now. Retroid Pocket 2025. They're saying October 27th,
2025, which is next week, right around the time this show goes out.
And there's a teaser image of. I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
It looks like the corner of one device pushing down on the surface of something else. Doesn't that look like the corner of a device? Because it's rounded. That's all I can figure. That's as far as
you
I've
think
gotten.
that's a corner of something? I thought it was. I thought it was a finger touching a screen.
No, I think that's metal. I think this is the corner of a device pressing down on the straight edge of another device, maybe. Wow. I don't know. Or just a table service. Yeah. With a lighting effect?
First idea was that it was a foldable because there's a curved line.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess too. Yeah, curved screen. Yes.
That was my guess. But is it like Retroid
I think that's
making
beyond
a foldable?
Retroid. I think foldable is beyond
Retroid.
Retroid.
Foldables are expensive
and hard to make.
And hard to make. Like, could it be a dual screen device? Like a proper dual screen flip?
It would make sense.
It'd be very funny to do the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 and then immediately, like literally within the same year, announce the dual screen one.
Yeah, that would be so
flip
funny.
2x2.
The flip.
The flip squared.
Actually, the flip flop would be a perfect name.
That would be.
Don't say that while I'm drinking tea.
Why wait for time travel to be invented?
Yeah, that part is
like that is very bold. Like.
Yeah.
Retroid making a futuristic device? Actually, John, I think you're right, though. I think that's a corner. That's a rounded corner. Could it be a tablet?
It reminded me of the Portal, is why I thought that. It reminded me of the corner of a Portal.
I think you're right. On closer inspection, that is a rounded corner with a bezel, with a metal bezel.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of glass with a bezel around it.
Kind of reminds me of the design of the iPad 2, even in a way.
A little bit. Could be. Man, maybe it is a tablet. That would be an interesting direction to go.
Yeah.
So, you know what I've been thinking about recently, just based on a lot of our conversations, is like, I wonder when one of these companies will decide to make a set-top box, like an NVIDIA Shield kind of thing.
Well, that has to be the next frontier, right? I mean, at this point, like, what other handheld is there to make? Like, we already have a clone of the PS Vita. Now we're having now we have DSs and 3DSs.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe.
Why not make a thing you can plug into your TV? I don't know.
Yeah,
Android TV exists. It's pretty good. I had an NVIDIA Shield. I think I still do in storage.
I had an NVIDIA Shield myself.
I never did that. Never went that route.
You guys ever had the Ouya console?
No, you did. I remember when you had that.
No, I didn't.
No.
I
thought you did.
No, never.
Oh, who do we know who had one
Mike,
of those?
maybe.
Oh, it was
maybe
Mike.
Early
the thing about the Ouya was that I was going to buy one kind of as a bit because I was running a video game website at the time. And I was like, we're going to be the only outlet that's going to cover every Ouya release.
Yeah.
And then the one game that I wanted to... Yeah, it would have been. The one game I wanted to play, which was Towerfall, ended up getting announced for PS4 like immediately. So I played it there instead.
Also, quick follow-up. The Miyoo Mini Flip pre-orders have opened. Brendon, have you gotten one?
Yeah. Like I said, it's almost here. It should be here in like a day or two, I think, somehow.
I need to understand why.
Okay. So I have the Miyoo Flip, not Mini.
Not Mini.
And I like it a lot. I know there's a lot of people who think that thing is a travesty. And honestly, when I got my hands on it, I also kind of thought it wasn't great. Like, it did the job all right, but it wasn't like great. Increasingly, that has actually become like the handheld I bring with me almost every single day. Like, I posted a video on our YouTube channel about this, but like, I did have a turnaround on that device. But also, there were a lot of kind of missing pieces about it that I think people were kind of upset about. Number one, like just being the onion of it all. Like, people wanted Onion OS on that thing, and it just was never going to happen. So the fact that Miyoo has now stopped production on the Mini, like the normal Mini, and they're now just saying all of those parts, the screens and everything, is just going to go into the Miyoo Mini Flip. It just seems like a really interesting kind of next frontier for them.
Yeah.
And it also immediately out of the box runs Onion, which is great. It doesn't have, screen support or clamshell support yet, but like maybe it will, who knows. But the fact that Onion works out of the box, it has the screen of the Miyoo Mini. It just feels like the device that people wanted from the Miyoo Flip, not Mini. So I want to get it and put it through its paces and see how I feel about it. I think in general, my misgivings about the Miyoo Mini, which is a device that I liked a lot, will probably go by the wayside realistically because it's a vertical. Like because it's vertical specifically because it's a clamshell and I have better places to rest my fingers. The thing about the Miyoo Mini that never worked for me was kind of like the like flat shoulder buttons on the back.
Right.
And I think this will fix that problem.
What's your thought on the shipping price? Because one of the things I did is I went and looked and I was like, this is $50, but it's $20 shipping. And it struck me as one, a tariff thing, and two, it's almost 50% of the price of the thing, which is it struck me as a lot. I don't remember what I paid for shipping for my other Miyoo devices, but I don't think it was as much as $20.
Yeah. Two things. Number one, when I get my hands on this device and we talk about it, that'll definitely come into consideration. But also, I pre-ordered it at exactly the moment that it went live and got free shipping. So,
nice.
I think it was like a bug or something on the website. Like, I don't think it was supposed to be free shipping,
I was gonna say.
They did honor it, which is nice. The funny thing is that they honored it, but also changed the colorway I ordered. So I ordered black and they're giving me white, but I get free shipping on it. I'm like, I'll take that trade. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a lot for shipping. So it being like $75 to ship to the US total is like, it's a lot. That's my biggest concern about the Thor also is like, I ordered that thing hoping that I would get it pre-tariffs, and now we're inching closer and closer to November 1st. I'm like, is this just going to be sitting in a facility in Nanchang for so long that I get hit with tariffs on a thing that I should have gotten a month ago? Yeah. Yikes.
And lastly, before we talk about the Thor, because one of us has it, Anbernic continues to show videos for their upcoming budget DS Lite console called the Anbernic RGDS, it seems, which is going to be $100, which is pretty wild. And this thing, they're showing DS and some 3DS games.
I can't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it when I was watching it.
They showed Rune Factory, I think.
Yeah, Rune Factory 4 specifically, which is, to be clear, not the most like graphically demanding game on the 3DS. So
still a 3DS game though.
It's still a 3DS game, which I was really surprised that they would advertise that at all, because I do think it may, and we'll see when the thing launches, but I do think it may create unreasonable expectations in buyers if they're watching these videos and thinking, oh, this thing runs DS and 3DS, Like I already saw The Verge run a piece that was like, this thing runs 3DS and DS games, and I was like, oh no.
We'll have to see, because especially when you want to run something like A Link Between Worlds, for example,
right?
That becomes a bit of a problem, because it's a very difficult game to
Or Pokemon.
emulate.
Like I'm sure a lot of people are going to get it to play like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and stuff, or like go revisit X and Y now that ZA is out, and like I just don't think that those are going to run those have a hard time running on a lot of devices,
including my Lenovo Legion Tab. Like if you don't pay, like 3DS is a difficult machine to emulate. And so, I mean, I really want to see what Anbernic has done here, but I think this is the first, at least from my perspective, really interesting Anbernic release in a while, because it's so different, because it's so new and it's dual screen. So maybe I'm
going to get one. I mean, I just want to test it. Like I'm just curious to put it through its paces,
Yeah, same. That being said, John,
the floor is yours.
I'm here to tell you about and show you the Ayn Thor. This is the rainbow unit. See, there we go.
So nice.
Look at the screen. That screen's really good.
Look at that screen at the top. Okay.
The screen at the top is just unbelievable. It's really good. It's a very bright, very saturated OLED screen. And while you can play games down below, it's very hard to pull yourself away from that big 16:9 screen at the top. The bottom, you can just, do the Ayn Thor thing. You press the Ayn button and you get your stats.
Where is the Ayn button? In the middle?
So the button right here, the gray button in the middle is the Ayn button. Then you've got the that's like the home button and the and the other way around.
Back button.
Home button and the back button, and then you've got start and select at the top.
Okay.
And then obviously you've got the sticks, the D-pad, and the face buttons on the sides.
When you click the AM button, the performance overlay comes up.
Yeah, exactly. So here I hit it again.
Nice.
And it goes a little hard to do this backwards, but yeah. So there it is with the apps.
Oh,
and
that's
you
nice.
can see I've got a bunch of games there. The organization of the apps is independent, top to bottom. You can see I've put everything in folders on the top, but I haven't bothered on the bottom because usually I hit the AM button and just look at the overlay anyway.
That's nice.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's nice because it means that you can run single screen games in emulation mode. So if you want to emulate like a PS2, for example, or a GameCube, you can just free room on screen and just display the stats at the bottom. That is one of the advantages of dual screen devices.
One of the things on the bottom that's very key to this is this. There's an auto lock setting, which is the button right on the top left. And if you set that to top screen, you'll want to do that when you're playing just on the top screen, because what it does is it makes it so the buttons and the sticks don't control the bottom screen at all. You can still navigate that screen with your finger, but what it avoids the problem where you're playing a game up top and maybe you accidentally tap the bottom screen, because it's a touch screen too. And if you do that, the controls switch. Like the default is that whichever screen you touch, that's the one that the buttons and the sticks control. So if you're playing up top and you're mashing the D-pad, you don't want to accidentally hit the edge of it, and then all of a sudden your controls are doing something down below and something blows up in your game.
Because I guess Android is technically treating one of the displays as an external one.
Yes.
And so it's switching your inputs between those.
Yeah, exactly.
Credit where credit's due. I think a thing that we've talked about in the past, especially early on in the show, was like wanting these manufacturers to put more time and effort into the software side of the devices that they're releasing. And I mean, the suite of stuff that you were just showing off already is really remarkable on this thing.
I mean, it's because what you see, you also have some stats here about the wattage, the powers that's being used, the CPU. It's got the CPU, GPU power, and RAM.
Can you control the TDP from there, like performance modes, that kind of stuff?
Let's see. Not from here. That's
probably the fan though, right?
Yeah,
they have that on the other.
You might have to actually go do the swipe down and do the Android stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's why I asked, because that's what you got to do on the other Odins, right?
Yeah, and I will say the fan on this thing is pretty noticeable.
Okay.
Once it gets above about 25% of its speed, you can see the speed of the fan on here too. Once it gets around 20 to 25%, you can start hearing a whine.
Yeah.
So depending what you're playing, you're going to hear it, and the vents are on the back, and I have noticed that if you put this down, like if you're playing on the couch and maybe you have a pillow in your lap or something, if you put this down on a pillow, you're going to start seeing the temperature creep up because you're blocking the vent. It's designed in a way with the contours that surround the triggers so that if you have it sitting on a table or something, that's not an issue. And when you're holding it, it's totally fine too. The heat, to the extent it's happening here, is happening right around where that vent happens to be. So you can feel it coming out of the bottom screen. But it's not the kind of thing you really feel when you're holding it, because you're holding the sides of the bottom screen. So that's not been a problem at all. The one thing, getting back to the screens and the way they operate in tandem, that's interesting is that by doing that auto lock so that you're only controlling the top screen, you can still touch control the bottom screen. So that means that if, for instance, you have a guide going at the bottom, a walkthrough or something, you can still scroll through that if you've got a web page open with your finger without having to switch back and forth, which I think is really a nice touch for it, because it works quite well that way. I haven't done a lot of that yet.
A real life question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've definitely tested that kind of stuff. How much do you think you're actually going to be playing a game and have something going on the bottom screen in real life?
Probably fairly limited, because I mean, so far, even with testing, I haven't done it a lot. I've mostly kept the stats there just to kind of get a feel for what it's running at.
Yeah.
It is a small screen, so that if you have a browser open there, it can be hard to read.
True.
Honestly, the only real scenario where I can think about doing that would be like high level Pokemon play for things like you want to keep like stats or like the Cerebi website open at the bottom
just to see like what Pokemon can do, what their stats are.
Yeah, or like you're breeding Pokemon, and so you need to have like the instructions for like the breeding groups, like that sort of stuff. Like I can see an advantage
reference
there,
material, yeah,
but it's very limited. Still, like I've always been in the camp that like it's better to have two screens than one. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Whatever. Turn it off or put on the stats or something.
Right.
I could see some instances where I'd be playing something like Vampire Survivors or something that like doesn't take my full attention, and then throwing a YouTube video on the bottom where it's like I do just kind of want to space out a little bit. I could see myself doing that.
Yeah, or pull up I don't know, pocket casts at the bottom. Listen to a podcast while playing a game or something.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah. Okay, John, question for you.
Yeah.
Have you tested sleep and resume? Like when you close it, like a DS. It's auto suspends everything, like it locks Android like a phone would lock.
It turns off the screens. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're fine.
Okay.
Like, see 3DS right here?
Oh
my
gosh.
Look at that. Doesn't that look great, that screen?
Oh my god.
And that's run at 4x resolution.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I was playing a lot of Mario Kart 7 the other night, so that's why I brought that one up, because it plays like fantastically. It's absolutely great. Now, I'm going to stop the game because it's kind of making a lot of noise. But what was I going to say?
It has Wi-Fi 7, right?
It does, and I have. That's great because you can play GeForce Now. I did some.
You have tested GeForce Now on this.
Yeah, I played Hell Is Us, which is a fairly new release that that takes advantage of the 5080s, I guess, that they have, and it looked amazing with that OLED screen. I mean, because there are a lot of dark environments in that game. Like I was in a cave, being attacked by some creatures. And yeah, it was really easy to use my light to kind of see around the corners. And it was just the contrast. It was really good because it could handle really low contrast in a dark environment.
And what was going on? So you were streaming GeForce Now on the top screen. And the bottom, you just kept the Ayn overlay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. Because there's really nothing to do with it in that situation. So I did that. I've also played some GameHub, which we're going to talk about in NPC XL today. Been messing around with that a little bit here and there. But mostly I've been playing 3DS and DS games. I also dipped into some Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. And I mean, they all look just fantastic. It's just very, it has no trouble handling any of those systems at all. I haven't done anything more than that. I haven't gone up to try Wii or GameCube or anything like that yet.
How's the DS scaling stuff been in terms of like top screen, bottom screen?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's it's one of those things where it's going to be smaller on the bottom screen. You're going to get if you do the scaling right, it's going to have a little black bar on top and bottom, I think it is. Yeah. But it looks good. I was playing some Professor Layton, and it's just really sharp, and the colors are fantastic. That's the thing about this is like upscaled everything to 4x with that OLED screen. Mm-hmm. Everything just pops and looks fantastic. And
you're just gonna have some black bars around it, I guess.
Yeah, a little black bar. They're not that big though. They're like a centimeter or so on top and bottom.
One of the games I really want to test on there, or I guess a trilogy of games, is Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6, because they make a lot of use of basically having like 3D space on both screens. It's supposed to like interconnect, and I'm curious how that's going to end up looking and what kind of scaling you need to do to get that effect to look normal. But I've seen some testing from other reviewers. It seems like it'll be fine.
Yeah,
John, obvious question. Is it comfortable?
Oh yeah.
So you're going to want that grip.
Huh?
You're going to want the grip for long play. Hold on a second. I'm loading Professor Layton. See the top and bottom.
Okay, so you have some
you
letter.
You
have some letter boxing at the bottom and some pillar boxing at the top. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you can stretch that bottom one out if you want. It's not. It doesn't look great.
Yeah,
though.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I don't know if they let you in the settings, but I would maybe like even take that bottom screen and just move it up towards the top, so it was like flush with the top in a way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know if that's possible. I'd have to take a look. But so, all right. When you look at the
comfort,
here, so it's kind of cramped. There's a lot of when you're going, especially if you're going to the up and down to the D-pad. That's kind of because they're in line like that. There's a lot of bending your thumb that makes it a little unergonomic, and so I immediately ordered the TP grip. I hadn't ordered it before, and it's
me neither. I think actually.
Yeah, and I think for emulation short sessions, it's totally fine. If you're playing a really stick heavy game, I found that, after about a half hour, I kind of wished I had the grip just to kind of spread my hands out a little bit and have it a little more comfortable to hold.
That's for dual stick games specifically, not just one stick.
Yeah.
It's like Mario Kart 7, if you're playing it for over a half hour, like that'll be fine. But if you're okay.
Yeah, that's been my initial reaction. Although I haven't, played enough long sessions yet to really dig in too deep with that. But yeah, I think that the other thing I like though is the button layout of this is really well done. In the sense that next to the A button, you see the little bumpers where the screen closes on?
Yeah.
They look like buttons to me. And sometimes I think that the home and back button, that is a little annoying. But
that's where they were on, I think, the new 3DS also.
Yeah, true. I do think that having the home and the back button on the bottom, I just launched a Netflix game, and having the start and select at the top, and then kind of moving everything to the front edge, everything else, the volume, the power, and the headphone jack and USB-C and SD card. That's kind of nice. That works really well.
Yeah, you haven't had any issues with the power button down there? I've seen some people concerned about it.
The thing that's weird about the power button is that when you press it, you get a haptic feedback, and if you let go, it's not going to turn on. You have to keep holding it until you see the AN logo appear on the screen, which to me is counterintuitive. I mean, I think that's how all their devices kind of work, but
it is.
But I find that a little bit counterintuitive, but the button's been fine in terms of...
Yeah. You haven't bumped into it while you've been playing, I guess is the concern.
No, not at all.
No. Okay. That's good. One of the through lines I think of a lot of Ayn's devices, as long as we've been doing the podcast, is this question of it as an everything device, basically everything that they make. Starting with the Odin 2 specifically, it was this could kind of replace most things in your life, or play most stuff that you would want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the Thor as the thing that could possibly get the closest to it because it's designed in a way that has two screens and makes it perfect for 3DS and DS and hypothetically Wii U, but who knows?
I think it could be a great general entertainment device. Throw Netflix up at the top and maybe scroll a website down below.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. It seems like they're getting closer and closer to it. It really, it raises questions to me about the Odin 3 in a lot of ways. The place that device fits into the catalog. More than anything else.
Yeah, me too. Especially
so interesting.
Especially since I got the Ultra version of the Odin 3.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a really interesting end of 2025 for me when it comes to AM devices. I just ordered the accessories pack for the Thor because
you.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it, so I ordered the accessories in white, matching the console.
Yeah,
so,
I just did the grip and the little pouch are the two things that I ordered.
Nice.
I'm worried if I get the accessories pack, it's going to show up before the device itself. I know it will.
So hopefully, when we record next week's episode, 2 of us, and ideally 3 of us, will have the Thor, and more first impressions will follow, and more.
Yeah. Do you know where yours is, Federico? I know that
in Hong Kong, saying that it's coming on Monday. So and
that's
it's Thursday today. So. We'll see.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it up here, folks, for this week's episode. And we are going to save some news recap and more Thor impressions for next week. We are going to talk about GameHub in NPC XL for our Patreon subscribers. You can find us on Patreon at Next Portable Console. That is the name of the show. So you can find us there, and it's just $5 a month if you want to support us and get a whole other episode of NPC, which we are going to record now.
Yes. And in the meantime, you can go over to wavelengths.online to follow Brendon's work, and you can go to macstories.net to follow Federico and me. And of course, we're all on social media. Just, search for our names. You'll find us. That's it for today, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.